hello. Muy buenas tardes, mi gente. Les habla Alejandro Garza, su host del radio show Radio Qué Rico en Quolores, Unidos, en su nueva hora, que es a las 7. El primer show del año. Estoy un poco emocionado, estoy un poco con mis sentidos encontrados. I'm a little excited, but yet I'm still, mixed feelings. Welcome, everybody. This is Alejandro Garza, your host and MC for Quolores Unidos here at Radio Qué Rico on your new time, which is 7 o'clock. Which one's my camera, Pedro? Is it this one? This one? Oh, I see it. Yes, because I like a good camera angle, and why not? And I'm loving the logo. Yay! Look at that. I'm touching it. So welcome.
Apparently you like touching it.
I mean, look.
Look at you, all excited now. All excited.
I like the background. It's pretty cool.
So why are your emotions where they are right now? Give us a bit of info on that.
Oh my God. Well, first of all, happy freaking New Year to everybody. Welcome back. Feliz Año Nuevo a todos. Bienvenidos. Ayer fue Día de Reyes. Yesterday was the day of the Epiphany, when apparently the three wise men made it to where Jesus was and gave him, all the gifts. Ayer fue Día de los Reyes, cuando los Reyes Magos llegan y dan sus respetos y etcétera, etcétera. Y por lo general en México se come rosca. In Canada we call it the king's cake. But I didn't have any this year because I did not want to make tamales. And la rosca can be a very dense, dry bread.
Forget the dense, dry bread. I don't want to pay for 300 tamales, my friend. You know what? It's the first year I don't have it either.
You know what? We did it last year, and I'm not going to say where we got it at, but oh my God, it literally se puso dura. Se puso el pan duro, regardless.
Menos mal dijiste pan, porque si se te puso dura, ya está problema.
No.
I'm curious now. You have to tell me off air where you got it.
I will let you know where.
Because where I got mine last year, I wish she was in Ottawa, not in Toronto.
Really?
Yeah. Actually, we're trying to get her up here for an interview because she doesn't want to do it through camera, she says.
Oh, nice.
So hopefully we get her in here soon for one of the other shows. Pero cuéntame. I'm very curious. You chose not to have a guest today, which is great. We get to talk to you. But with everything that's going on, I think this episode can only be called one thing.
What? What the fudge?
No. What the fudge in the world, though?
What the fudge is going on in the world, pretty much.
Like, how do you feel about... I want to ask you about a couple of things, but before we go even with what we had discussed, how do you feel after the holidays? Was it even a holiday? Did you feel the Christmas spirit? Did you feel the New Year's Eve? Was it a normal for you, or were you like many that said and have stated that it's just a money grab?
You know what? You do know that I work in the customer service industry, and I work in the cosmetic industry, and in general, that industry is always busy, always bumping. And if you follow me, and if you follow my personal makeup page on Instagram, you'll know where I was at that on Christmas Eve. And let me tell you, it wasn't the same. The vibe, the energy, to the point where the stores weren't even playing 100% Christmas music. My all due respects, because I understand that not everybody celebrates Christmas, and we are in Canada where you're entitled to celebrate whatever, celebrations you do, right? But Christmas, come on, guys. Like, Christmas for me when I was growing up was like so big. We would have villancicos 24/7, right? I do remember up until a couple of years ago, so like I said, it started with all Christmas music, and then it started to mix. And then this year, I found a lot of stores were not playing it. They would play like one Christmas song and like 5 songs of the top 10 or top 20, right? And you're like, what's going on? So I know that things are changing. I know the world is changing. But I can even tell you as a consumer and in the industry that I work, it wasn't there. Like at the store where I was, I've seen it busier on the 24th. I've seen it bumping. And it's because a lot of people now buy online. And yes, even though Canada Post got behind, a lot of people still bought online. A lot of people still bought through Amazon and through Temu and all those other places.
But doesn't all of this bother you, though? As a sales rep, as a customer service employee, because, well, that's pretty much what we are.
Yeah.
Doesn't it bother you to see that people are not there, the lights are not there, the spirit isn't there, the camaraderie that there used to be isn't there?
It's become a lot more capitalism, honestly. It's become a lot more like capitalism.
I beg to differ that.
Okay.
I'm not going to say names because I don't want to get in trouble with the politicians. I've had enough emails from some of them. But one of them stated that they're trying to bring back our core values.
Okay.
And if they do go in power, they're going to push that. Because it's so fearful.
Yeah.
Of saying the wrong thing,
yeah.
doing the wrong thing, that people don't even want to celebrate anymore.
Exactly.
I'm going to give you an example of that. At my work, the person that was in charge previously was so scared to say Merry Christmas that he banned it.
Wow.
He was so scared to have a Christmas tree that he threw it out.
Wow.
Because, yes, we live in Ottawa and you've got different cultures. Aquí si no hay cultura, no hay nada, like straight up. And because there's a couple of people from a certain religion that don't celebrate it, he decided to throw everything out. And this is stuff that the staff had been collecting for X amount of years.
Okay.
And apparently this individual got so scared of saying the wrong thing, doing the wrong thing, and being sued because he's celebrating something that is not part of theirs.
Yeah.
That it ruined it for everybody else.
You know what it is that we're so afraid of, ¿cómo se dice?
Con palabras?
Offend somebody else.
Oh, no,
right?
You know what? It wasn't even offending because this isn't a person that offends you just by looking at you.
Okay.
But it was the fear of being sued for not having the proper equality to give everybody what they need, which make no sense because if you are whatever religion you are and you want to celebrate it, in this country, in this city, we celebrate it.
Of course, and it's really big.
There's nothing about saying, no, you can't do this, you can't do that.
Yeah.
So why not have something like that? And I've seen it more and more corporately. It's scary and it's sad.
It is. One thing that I don't like and I don't agree is that corporations start to put, Christmas decorations as early as even before Halloween, right?
Yes.
And that's something that, first of all, I find a little bit disrespectful because we do have Remembrance Day in there somewhere, right? And so for me as a consumer, I do find it disrespectful because we're not honoring the people that, fought for us to have our civil rights, for us to be here, and so on and so forth.
I'm completely with you on that.
By putting Christmas decorations on early.
I literally refuse to go to, and I've said it to many store managers, if you've got something before Christmas, forget about my money.
Yeah, because to me, it is a total disrespect. Yeah. And to a lot of people, it is as well, because these people that are in the forces went to fight for us.
Veterans, even those that are in right now.
Exactly.
It's a data respect. I don't care who you are, what you are, what religion you are.
Yeah.
What color, what size, gordito, flaquito, none of that matters, because you know what? These people, we owe them our freedom.
Yep.
We owe them, and as much as I'm going to get flack, we owe them to be able to be free in a country.
Yep.
And not have to fear genocide in our own, well, not our own, but in many countries, to fear that.
Yeah.
So why not show it that little bit of respect?
Just a little bit. Just wait until
one morning. It's not even a full day.
No, it's literally till 12 o'clock in the afternoon, because nothing opens until after 12 o'clock, right?
So why not do it?
For me, it's you can wait and decorate until after Remembrance Day. It's not going to hurt you waiting until after that day. And I understand, yes, corporate America, yes, you need to sell your products. Yes, you need to sell what you sell for the holidays.
You have armies of staff.
Believe it or not, many corporations did not hire as much as they usually do for the holidays. I saw that.
There's no need for it.
Why is that?
2 reasons.
A ver.
There's no demand. With the high prices, nobody wants to pay. And what would you prefer to have? A nice turkey dinner? Tus tamalitos bien calientitos? Or have that fugazi Polex underneath the tree?
Tamales.
I'm sorry, but it's true. Everybody would prefer to have a nice Christmas meal,
Tamales,
a nice New Year's Eve meal.
Yeah.
Or get wasted.
True. True. But yeah, like anyways, it drives me crazy, but I'm in an industry where this is what we do. This is what I do. Right. And I love the industry that I work in, and I help people find what they need, especially during the holiday season.
So are you part of the problem?
I am. You know what? Yes. I am part of the problem, because that's how I live. That's how I survive. That's how I pay my bills. I mean,
Sadly, it is. If
Exactly.
we don't work and we don't follow whatever our quote unquote bosses, there's nothing for a Christmas gift.
Exactly. So, there's another store, and I'm not gonna say what store it is, just because I have friends that work for this company. But even with them, like, we haven't even finished summer, and I'm already seeing Halloween and part of Christmas.
Back to school isn't done, and Halloween costumes are being sold more than freaking books.
Exactly. And so even that store, like, literally, I walked in on, like, a week before Christmas, Valentine's Day. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Valentine's Day. And St. Patrick's, like a little corner of St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know what store I'm talking about. But anyways, I'm like, give us a little break from all of this, right? But you know what? But even in the industry that I work in, it's the same thing. We're always a season ahead. Because fashion and makeup and all of this, you always have to be ahead of the game. You always have to be at least a season or two ahead.
Yes.
Because
a season. Not a festivity. There's a difference.
But if a festivity happens during that season, then it does make sense to put that in there. But anyways, yes, well, you know what? But that's the reality. That's the reality
then
what's
that
happening.
turns around and makes me want to ask somebody. And I'm just generalizing this. I'm not
Okay.
saying you or anybody. Where does it stop?
It doesn't. It just continues. It just continues. It does not stop.
Okay, but then when does reality come back?
The reality is there. You just choose not to accept the reality, so you continue on with what's going on.
So we're living a fake corporate life now?
I mean, did you take the red pill or did you take the blue pill? Keanu Reeves.
Right now, I wish there was a green pill.
Or a pink one.
Aparentemente todo está la pink one. So, speaking of red or blue, since you brought it up and I wasn't trying to go there.
Let's do this. You know what? Let's do this. It's important for especially for my viewers to understand like what's going on, because it does, believe it or not, this will affect
everybody.
It
You
will.
know who it's not going to affect?
Who?
La abuelita that just kicked heels yesterday.
The who?
La abuelita.
The just
kicked heels.
I got I see you with your play on words. I see you.
So
that I'm not. Well, I almost slipped a bad word.
I knew I could see it in your face. So let's start it off simple and easy.
Yeah.
How do you feel with Mr. Trudeau's choosing and how he has chosen to walk away?
You know, he said that he fought. What did you fight? He didn't fight anything. That was one of the things that he fought. But how do I feel? I feel like he was a coward by doing it that way. Why not call an election while you're still in power? Call the election. If you have that much confidence in yourself and in your MPs and in your MPs that are, like the main ministers, if you have that much confidence that you can win an election, call an election. But I think by him doing what he did, it's just being a coward. That's what I'm going to call it.
Compared to his father, where do you stand?
I don't know his father very well, though. You mean which father?
Listen, I'm not gonna. That's another show completely.
Yes,
we should do a show like that, though.
Oh, well, but let's be real.
¿Quién es el padre?
¿Quién es el padre de Justin Trudeau? And can I be Maury?
No, I know you'd love to be Maury.
No, but real though. Like that's the thing. Is that I don't know. I don't know his father. I know his father was prime minister, and then he resigned or something happened, and then he came back, and then apparently when he resigned, before he resigned, he walked into the forest, and then apparently he saw this angel, and this angel told him that he needed to resign.
Because he saw his way.
Well, and in my mind, I was like, okay, what kind of heroin was he doing?
I want to know what he was on.
What kind of ecstasy or what kind of drug
and
was he on?
And it's not to disrespect Pierre Trudeau, because he did do a lot of great things for the country.
Yes.
But where I'm going with this is, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't believe we have somebody that could be a good leader for everybody.
Yeah.
We have leaders, but not good for everybody.
Exactly.
So that being said and stated, because I am stating that, do you believe el pelo de elote, Mr. Trump, has anything proper to come for Canada, or is he just going to try to bully himself until he gets what he wants, which is what he tends to do?
Yeah, you know what? When it comes to Trump, it's almost like you don't know what to believe, because so much BS comes out of his mouth that you don't know, right? Like
he's gonna throw toilet paper on your head. Don't forget that.
No, but for real though, like so much stuff comes out of his mouth that you don't know if he's saying the truth or is he lying or is he just trying to pass by because he doesn't know, right? So I read in the news today that his main thing for Canada is to threaten us with a terrorist war.
Yep.
Right. And it's all tariffs. Right. And he said, he goes, we don't need their lumber. We don't need their hydro. We don't need their dairy. We don't need this. We don't.
So, can you, as because you've lived in the States and you have family in the States, how do you think that's going to affect them? Because think about it. I think it's like 70% of their lumber comes from Canada. It's a big number. It's a big double-digit number of steel that we export.
Yeah.
The electricity that we export coast to coast will shut down major states.
Yep, like New York,
California, Washington, afuera.
Vermont, all of those.
How do you feel this is going to affect the American people?
You know what it is that a lot of American people, especially his followers, are not educated on who's going to pay these tariffs. And those are the main ones that literally just got played, because who's going to pay those tariffs? They are. They're going to pay the price for higher eggs, higher gas, higher bills, higher taxes, because they're going to be paying more taxes, and potentially, pay even more in cars. Ontario makes 20% of the cars that are sold in the United States.
Yep.
So what does that mean, right? He's like, well, I'll just take it to Detroit. Okay. Have you seen how Detroit is? Have you seen how Detroit is in shambles?
Yep.
They can't even drink the water there.
Yep.
So go ahead. Good old buddy Doug Ford is just going to flip the switch, and guess what? You have no more hydro, dude.
Well, forget about hydro. Forget about that. You brought up gas.
Yes.
At the price rate that they get, yes, all we need is our own refinery, and we would be okay. Them, on the other hand, they get an extreme deal on gas from us.
Yes.
Did you know that they pay about 70% less than other countries do for our natural gas?
I did not know that. Is it because we're just right here and it's closer?
Yeah, I think it's because our fearful leader made some very poor choices. But at the same time, how do you think Pierre's going to handle all of this?
You know what?
You can't deny. Unfortunately, right now, he's going to win by a landslide. Unless something miraculous happens with whoever the new Liberal leader is. And it's going to have to be like just a huge miracle.
It's going to take baby Jesus to come to life and light the light for the Liberal Party to win again. Simple as that.
Things can happen.
Yes.
But
it will
realistically, how we are right now.
Realistically, no. I think realistically we are heading towards even a majority conservative win, because of what the Liberals had done the past 9 years. And my prediction, they're going to go down to maybe no more than 10 seats, just to keep enough of the party status, right? And the official opposition can be a combination between the NDP or the Bloc Québécois. But at the end of the day,
I don't think it's even going to be the NDP.
No, you think it's going to be more the
I'm hoping it's the Green Party, because this lady, have you seen the stuff she's been saying lately?
Yes, I have.
Wow.
Yes.
Poor Toronto.
Yes,
That's all I could say on that one. Poor Toronto.
But we'll see. I mean, I know, depending on where you read, right? Depending on where you get your news sources from. Some people say that the NDP is very high in the province of Quebec. Some people say it's not. Some, it's all hearsay. But that we're going to get a conservative parliament majority. Yes, we are. That's my prediction. That's what I think. And it's either going to be the NDP or the Bloc that's going to be the official opposition, and the Liberals are going to get down to it no more than 10 seats.
So, seeing that this is Quolores Unidos,
yes,
how will this affect the community? How could it affect the community?
It could affect the fact that, Pierre is not. He hasn't said much about how he plans to support the LGBTQ plus community. He hasn't said anything. And so for us, it's an automatically red flag, because just like Trump, Pierre kind of sort of has a little bit of the same ideas. And if you look at his campaign, he's campaigning very similar like Trump did, right? He's following that same tune of the music.
Oh, definitely. They seem to have the same ideology, but as you pointed out earlier on, Pierre is a little bit more well-versed.
You know what?
He's a little bit more politically correct.
Yes, he is. And yes, he wants a more traditional Canada, but we have to see what he means by more traditional, right? Because traditional can be many, many ways and many things. And it could also be not including the the community either, because we are not, your traditional Canadian values, right? So we have to find out once his platform comes out. I want to see what he plans on doing for the community. There's rumors he's going to be gutting, a lot of the trans benefits that they're getting across the board, right? There's rumors that that he might not be funding a lot of the LGBTQ plus community, nonprofit organizations that depend on some of the grants that the federal government gives, right? So those kinds of things, it's what, when we have elections as a gay man and as part of the community, we're like, are we going to have to fight? Are we going to have to stand our ground? It's almost like my fellow, Mexican Americans and all of my friends in Texas that are against the Republicans. And they're like, what are we going to do now? Are we going to have to stand up and fight? Are we going to have to stand up and, do what we need to do? And yes, that's why we live in free countries where we can stand up and protest and do what we need to do. But I have a feeling he will come for some gay rights. I'm sure he will come for, healthcare for trans, people, because I have a feeling that's just the kind of person he is. And so that automatically, you're like, what do we do? So that just means that our parades, which are not a party, it's a protest, are going to have to become stronger, louder, and bigger to be able to literally say, hey, we're here, we're queer, we're not going anywhere.
So I'm going to ask you two questions. One of them, I hope you understand where I'm coming from with it. And the other one, I hope you're able to give me your personal feelings. First, do you think Pierre will ever appear in a pride parade?
No. I think that he's too proud to even do that. Harper didn't even appear in any of the gay parades. Harper didn't. But what's his name? Not Doug Ford, but his brother. When he was mayor of City of Toronto, he appeared in one of the parades. That I do remember.
Rob Ford, yes.
Yes, Rob Ford appeared, and he did, yes. But Pierre, no. Pierre, again, he wants traditional values back into Canada. You think he's going to be marching next to a gay man or next to a trans woman? Not really, right? He's not. So...
okay.
We have to look at that for sure. And yes, he is married to a Latina. He is married to she's from Venezuela.
Yes.
And yes, it would be a big thing to have the first Latina first lady of Canada. But at the end of the day, she's very conservative as well.
I get that, but okay. Now you're throwing me into another area. Before I ask that one, you talked about the parades.
Mm-hmm.
When is the commercialism and the corporate going to stop? And when will it go back to being what it's meant to be? Because you know what? I've been in both the Toronto and the Ottawa. I participated, and I love going to see you and your crew do your thing. But Ottawa, it's about the community. You go to a city like Toronto, and it's about the corporate sponsor. How do you feel about that, and how do you think that'll all be affected with the changes that are coming and power that's coming up?
You know what? This is when the community is going to have to really see and realize what corporations support who, right? Like, for example, in the U.S., Apple just donated $1 million towards Trump's inauguration. Apple. iPhone, right? But here in Canada, it's the minute the Conservatives come into power, the minute they're going to try and pass their laws, because we do have a Charter of Rights, a lot of those, if they do decide to pass laws against things, the Charter of Right is there to protect us in a way. And there are going to be a lot of fights in courts because they're going to want to change things and the law says no, but they're going to find a loophole where they're going to say it does, and they're going to go back and forth, back and forth. So I have a feeling that the Supreme Court of Canada is going to have their hands full for the next 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
When this happens. Yeah.
Now, going back to Pierre's wife.
Yes.
Being that she's Latina, do you think this will have any benefit to Latinos that Pierre goes into power? Or is he just using her for the Latino vote?
You know what? I think that, yes, in a way she's using her, but yet she's letting her use herself. Because, come on now, the First Lady of Canada being Venezuelan from Latin American, and she's an immigrant, what does that mean? All eyes are going to be on her. So she knows what she's doing. She knows that by supporting her husband's, to be prime minister, yes, they're going to win the Latino vote, especially the conservative Latino vote. The conservative ones that do not want, that want the Canadian traditional values. Those are the ones that are going to vote for him. Those are the ones that are going to give his support.
You keep on saying Canadian traditional values.
Correct.
Please explain to me what your view on that is. Just your view. Not what you think it is. Well, what you think it is, but not what is publicated. What do you think it should be? What do you think it actually is?
You know what? For me, coming from Pierre, what I think he means by that is basically where a man and a woman live together and they have kids. And you get to celebrate all the traditional Canadian festivities, right? And so anything that doesn't fall within that, you're not quite traditional. So me as a gay man, under his eyes, I'm not part of the traditional values of it.
Okay.
Right? That's the conservative way of thinking. Because if you would have told me, well, what do you think of the Liberal Party? What is their Canadian values? For them, it's basically everybody's inclusive. Everybody belongs together. Mm-hmm. While the conservatives, it's more like, no, man and woman, you have kids, you go to work, she stays at home, she can work, but we're going to limit, right? So that's where I go with that.
So something just popped into my head, and I want you, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, I actually want understanding. I saw it in movies a few years ago, and I've seen it a lot, and I've heard it in some controversial moments. How and what aspect do you guys take the word breeders and non-breeders? How does that feel? How do you... For somebody like myself that's curious to understand the community better, that I support the community, I'm asking for knowledge, and more importantly, I'm asking so I don't insult. You know that.
Of course.
Is that a good term? Is that a bad term? How should that be or should it not be used? And I'll explain afterwards why I'm asking this.
I mean, to me, breeders is a very disrespectful word to say to a straight man or to a straight woman. Unfortunately, yes, to me, it's in a way of an insult. I'm insulting you by calling you that, and I don't do that. A lot of the gays out there that are way, way out, they're comfortable with everything and anything, use those terminologies sometimes as a joke. And yes, it could be used as a joke, but it also can be very offensive. So you will never hear me say those two words. No. Okay. Yeah. Just out of respect, because at the end of the day, we're all breeders.
One way or another.
Exactly.
No, I agree with you on that, and I appreciate you clarifying that, because there's a politician that used these words, and I'm trying to not get into that. But when it does come to light, buena suerte to this person.
No, seriously, because it's very disrespectful, in my opinion, calling somebody, calling them breeders. Well, you're a breeder too, period. Right? So, it just so happens that we don't have kids because we like our same sex. So somebody that's not, that they're straight, a straight couple, you're calling them breeders. It's like, no bueno.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
On that note, sir, leaving the political world a little bit, leaving all that BS aside, how do you feel in 2025? How have you embraced it with the 7 days that we're into right now? By tomorrow, in 2 days when it airs, by the 9th when this airs, what have you done? What have you promised yourself? What's your personal resolution that so far you've kept and you're hoping to bring light? What are you looking to change with yourself?
You know what? I personally change, just be more. ¿Cómo te diré? Entender un poco más. Try and understand where people are coming from, why certain things, why things happen. Just try to understand certain things, and sometimes forget the understanding and just let it be, right? So for that, I'm just being a little bit more understanding, be a little bit more open to, what people have to tell me. I usually take a lot of things to heart. I want to not take things seriously, especially when it's things that it's like really like they can be resolved the next day. No. So, I want to continue, coming here and doing these amazing podcasts to really tell, showcase that, hey, I'm here. I'm with Quolores Unidos. I want to continue representing the LGBTQ plus community here in Canada and in the U.S. and anywhere that they need. I want to continue doing that. I want to be able to see my family in Texas again this year. Finish school, because in case you didn't know, I do go to school. I do go to Algonquin. I'm out there trying to get my high school diploma through Algonquin. And of course, just continuing supporting the community that supports me. Continue supporting the people that support me. Continue loving the people that love me. Like my partner. Continue supporting him, being there for him, and in general, just being a better version of who I am. A friend of mine told me we're both cancers, and she says, that this is Cancer's villain era, and I'm like, well, let it start. Let's be the villain.
Uy, güey, hasta miedo dice con la carita.
But let's also understand our surroundings.
Well, that's the biggest thing. A lot of people choose not to understand where they are, where they're standing. They just think a bank account, a partner, a new vehicle, some gaudy house is making them be something.
And no, it doesn't make you. A house doesn't make you, because you can have a house one day, you can't have the house the other day. Same thing with the bank account. Like, you can have millions of dollars in the bank account, but yet you might not have any friends. You might not have somebody to share it with. So, that's more materialistic than anything else for me. Those things come and go, and as long as it's abundant throughout the year, you're winning, and that's a good thing, because we all want that. I prefer consistency than a big bang and then it's gone.
Yep.
Right? It's like I always say, when you do a pageant, consistency wins the pageant. And let me tell you, life is a pageant. So you have to be consistent with everything that's out there.
If you're not consistent, you ain't going to get where you want to be.
Exactly. Because, yeah. And one thing that somebody told me last year, and they're like, don't change. Whatever you do, keep being you. because
you have to be you. You shouldn't be anybody else.
Yeah. But unfortunately, a lot of people change, and they either change for the good or change for the bad. But I'm just not. No, that's just not me.
It's the bad that gets scary. The good, uno le aplaude, but the bad. Now, speaking about the good, your husband has an event coming up soon.
Yes.
And you guys are almost sold out, from what I heard.
Yes, we are. We are almost sold out. We are having a drag brunch at Finnegan's on Montreal Road on January 26th. It's a Sunday, January 26th, and there was only 50 tickets that were printed because that's the capacity of the location. And I think out of the 50 tickets, I think there's only about 10 left. And if you still want to buy a ticket, you can go to Finnegan's, give them a call or swing by and see if they have some tickets. They're $20. And then the day of, if there's any left, I believe they're going to be selling them for $25. And literally the ticket will include an item from the breakfast menu that they have and a mimosa as well. And then, of course, if
just a mimosa is worth it.
Right? And then if you want some more, then you can just always order. There's going to be, of course, myself, Paula Darling, my comadre that was with us here last year, Miss Dilo, and, of course, my partner, Miss Pompominoon, who, thanks to them, we have the first brunch at Finnegan's. Yeah. I'm
looking forward to that. I'm going to try to somehow beat somebody up to get myself a ticket. No, I won't do that. No physical violence. No la violencia. Or as Bacon likes to say, no los putazos.
Mr. Bacon.
What do you think of Bacon?
Cool guy. Very, very cool guy. He's Toronto in and out. Like, I see him and I see Toronto. Literally. Very cool guy. I can't wait to hopefully bring him on board one day and let's interview him here at Quolores.
Yes, I would love that. I would love that. You know what? I'm gonna send him a message right now.
It's. I mean, I work with other DJs and and it'll be cool to bring on DJ Vela. Velo. Yeah, sorry. DJ Velo and Sergio and, like at separate times and just talk about, what they do. So that way my audience can actually get to know them and just talk about like what they do, where they from. Because I feel that, yes, we know who they are, but I think if by me bringing them onto the show and introducing them to the LGBTQ plus community.
Side of the coin.
What?
Different side of the coin.
Exactly. And so I said, why not? Surprise, surprise.
So this is what I just sent them. I said to them, yo, you down to be part of a recording for Quolores Unidos? Yeah, when?
Oh, there you go.
Done deal.
We will get back to you, Mr. Bacon. And also for anybody that's out there that wants to come on the show, email us at info@radioquerico.com. If you want to be one of my guests, if you want to come and sit on the other chair and we can chat. And
he doesn't bite unless you ask.
Pretty much. If anybody's interested, email us, put it on your comments, send us a message on Facebook. And, of course, don't forget to subscribe to Radio Querico and hit that bell so that way you can get all the upcoming shows for this year. And I wanted to do a quick shout-out. My cousin in Houston, Roseville, and his wife, Alicia, are actually subscribers to Radio Querico, and they get all of the shows. They get everything too. So shout out to my cousin Roseville and his wife Alicia out in Houston, Texas. Yeah,
definitely.
Right.
Nice. Nice.
Because when I usually what I do is I'll send certain people the link of YouTube for the interview. And then the one for Jordan, my cousin, his wife, my cousin Alicia says, "Oh, primo, I'm subscribed. I know when your show comes on." And I was like, "Okay, girl, you telling me?"
Well, you know what? It's nice. The more subscribers we get, the more notifications they can get. But more importantly, the bigger our community grows.
Exactly.
The larger our Radio Que Rico family can grow, the better it is for all of us. The more messages we can get out there, the more we can help you out. And at the same time, if there's something you want us to talk about,
hey, let us know.
Bring it on.
Yeah, let us know, because it is important, because we don't see it, but whatever's happening south of us, it's going to eventually crawl up north, right? So if anything is happening in Texas, it's eventually going to hit us. Not as hard,
but it will.
But like those little aftershocks, that's what gets us, right? So
are you a Pepsi guy or a Coke guy? And I'm going to tell you why.
Why? Tell me why.
I'll tell you why after.
I'm a Pepsi guy.
Good.
Oh, as we Latinos say, I'm a Pepsi.
Pepsi.
Okay. A Pepsi, yes.
See, I was looking up at a documentary earlier today instead of having my lunch. And it was showing how the war between Coke and Pepsi was in the 70s.
Yes.
At one point, Pepsi decided to double the size of what they were selling to Latino and African Americans.
Wow.
For the same price that Coke was selling it to the other side of the coin.
Exactly.
I don't want to get into that one. So I found it really funny because a lot of us don't realize that, and a lot of us have never known these things.
I didn't.
But this is why we're so influenced on certain brands. It's si te das cuenta, we get influenced by our parents on things that they did, they bought, that they enjoyed as kids.
Yeah.
And then when we turn around, we're like, oh, yeah. So why do you take it? It was at home.
See, I became a Pepsi guy when I came to Canada. When I was back home in Mexico, I used to drink several other flavors, other brands that was not necessarily Coke. Mm-hmm. But when I came to Canada, Pepsi was just like, it was either Pepsi or Coke. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, you know what? Let's try Pepsi. And then once you have Pepsi with pizza and with hot wings and when all that good stuff, let me tell you, that's a ball game changer right there.
Nothing else but Pepsi.
Yes, a Pepsi. And then, did you know that the majority of Quebecers drink Pepsi?
Yes.
Yeah. So I was like, okay. I mean, I don't consider myself a Quebecer, but
close enough.
Close enough. Well, yeah.
I mean, you've been injected.
He's gonna kill you.
Went the wrong way with that one.
But I mean, there's even a joke. They say a Pepsi and a Joe Louis and a Pepsi. That's the Quebecers' lunch. I've heard. I don't know. But no, definitely more of a Pepsi drinker. If there's Coke, I'm like, okay, fine, twist my arm, but it's no.
So you don't do rum and Coke, you do rum and Pepsi.
Correct, just like I do tequila and Pepsi.
Really?
Yeah.
I've been told that so many times and I've never had it.
You do the same thing as a rum and Coke.
Okay.
So you do your shot of tequila, and then same thing. You just substitute it with tequila, and let me tell you, it sneaks up on you.
Really?
That tequila sneaks up on you, yes.
All my years of drinking, nada, never.
No. Yeah, for me, tequila, oof. Last time I had that drink is when I was living in Toronto. I think it was like 2008. Went out, and that's all I had all night. And then when I was leaving, oh my goodness, everything estaba así. Yeah, I don't even know how I made it home, but yeah, Pepsi and tequila.
I'm definitely gonna have to try that out one of these days.
Try it.
So, are you one of these cheap tequila drinkers or one of those botellones de cerámica, por no decir los nombres.
You know, I'm one of those bad Mexican tequila drinkers because I don't even know my tequilas.
Oh.
I don't. But, I mean, I know the Jose Cuervo, Jimadores, but those are like the everyday brands, right? Those are like the national brands, like the brands that every tourist buys when they go down to Mexico, and that's what they have. That's why I know them. But like other brands, no, I wouldn't know any brands of tequila.
You know what? I know a tequila connoisseur. Maybe we should bring him in here.
That would be cool.
Maybe we should ask him to come in here and teach us a little bit about tequila.
And have like different tequilas and.
Ya te veo.
And we can have Miss Mari sponsor the pupusas.
Oiga, now you're talking. Now you're talking. Actually,
pupusas and tequila. Oh my God.
Oh my God, my headache. My headache is hurting already just thinking about it. Yeah. Tequila and I are good friends because we get other people drunk while we watch them make fools.
Oh my God.
I'll be honest with you. I like it, but unless like my go-to, I can't.
No. I don't. I'm not a big drinker, but when I'm doing drag and I'm doing shows, I usually do a sour whiskey sour.
Yeah.
That's
try an amaretto sour.
An amaretto sour? Okay, I'll give it a try.
Remember the amaretto I had to try?
Yeah.
Okay, that mixed with sour.
Okay.
Yeah,
really?
that's it.
Something different?
No, you know what? You know the bitterness of the whiskey?
Yeah.
Try sweetness.
Okay.
It's like you're having a sweet and sour candy.
I'll try it. But yeah, that's the drink of Paula Darling. It's a whiskey sour. So when I'm in full drag, it's what do you want to drink? Whiskey sour, please. Thank you. Tall glass, not short.
Pinche borracho.
But you know what? Let's see. The last time I got even drunk, I would say New Year's 2024. Not this one, but like last year's. We were
so like a year and a few days ago.
Pretty much. And the only reason was because we were doing a 50th birthday party for one of Jacques' the coworker. Her husband was turning 50.
Oh, cool.
And we did a drag show at the there's this private club that's over there by the Loblaws off of the Vanier. Oh my God, I can't remember the name of it.
Oh, the tennis club.
Yes. They rented the top floor where the bar is and everything.
Very pretty area.
Yeah. So we got dressed there and everything, and literally unlimited drinking for us. And as soon as I started, it was like whiskey sour, and that's all I had all night long. Whiskey. Of course, I did eat, but yeah, whiskey sour.
No, mijo, I wouldn't be able to get up after that.
That's what you got to eat. You got to eat.
Does it look like I don't eat? Let's be honest here.
No comments. I'm pleading the fifth.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, it was never done. Nobody pleaded the fifth on Sunday.
No, nobody pleaded the fifth on Sunday. And you know what? That's happening in about 2 hours.
Oh, yeah? Can't wait.
Yes, definitely. So watch that.
I'm excited.
Share it with the world.
Yeah.
And FYI, we're going to start doing that bi-monthly.
Okay.
Bi-monthly. I know some of the guys want to do it monthly, and it would be nice. But scheduling-wise with all of you, let's try bi-monthly. If that goes well, then yeah, we'll move into monthly. But right now, let's keep it that way. However, as much as I'm enjoying the conversation, enjoying poking your brain, it is that time, my friend. So I'll let you do what you do best.
All right. Mi gente, everybody. Once again, thank you for joining us here at Quolores Unidos, Radio Que Rico. Don't forget to subscribe, Radio Que Rico on YouTube. Don't forget to hit that bell. Don't forget to follow us on every social platform, so that way you are on top of everything that's happening, all the news. There's a lot of exciting things happening this year with Radio Que Rico, with Quolores Unidos. Can't say too much about it because it's going to be a big surprise. So stay tuned. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to love yourself, love each other, and don't forget to call your mom. Okay? We'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.